What is up, everyone? It is your Man on Fire mentor. And as always, it is an honor and it is a privilege to be able to be of service to my fellow brothers. Why? Because we are all here to help each other rise. Rise with passion, with power, and live a life that is deeply on purpose. It is too easy, yes, far too easy to cut down another man and to try to push him down to build yourself up. That's not what I'm about. That's not what Man on Fire is about. We recognize what's inside of a man. We know that you're extraordinary. We know that you're phenomenal. We know that you're here to be a masculine leader. We know you want to be a better man. We know you want to be a better dad. We know you want to be a better husband. We know you want to show up as a masculine leader. And we know that you want your last breath to be one of freedom and fulfillment rather than one of regret. And we are here to help you do that. So just know that you were born for this. You were made for this. This is possible. And everything else is an illusion. Everything else is a lie because you came here to live an extraordinary life. Yes, that's right. So what are we going to talk about today and dive into the center of the fire about? We are going to talk about expectations will destroy. Yes, I said it. Destroy your relationship. Yes, expectations will destroy your relationship. So we will define, or I will define what I mean by that, and you guys will have a great sense of where I'm taking today's discussion. Okay, now I'm guessing that each and every one of you want to be in a intimate, passionate, loving relationship with your significant other, whether that's with a woman, whether that's with a man, really doesn't matter. Man on Fire stands for all races and all religions and all colors. It's extraordinarily diversified community. We're here to help you stand in your greatest truth and live a life that was meant for you, that was designed by your soul and in your contractual obligation that you have with your creator. When I speak about expectations in relationships, I think that it's fair to say we all come into a relationship carrying a heavy bag of S-H-I-T. Yes, I said it. We carry a heavy bag of poop and we carry a heavy bag of crap and a heavy bag of shit with us because most of us, and I'll talk for myself, most likely had parents that knew how to love us, but they didn't necessarily know how to love each other. And I know that at 13, I had asked my father to move out of the house because I could tell that my parents didn't belong together. So not many of us necessarily had the greatest role model or masculine leadership being exhibited in our household for us to really learn right from wrong. So a lot of us carry that big, heavy bag of what happened with our parents and what happened with their parents and what happened with their parents. And we're carrying it with us and we bring it into a relationship. And now we have all of these expectations from our partner. And they got to meet everything on our list. And I got to be able to check off the list. And if one of those things is not met and they don't live up to my expectation, then I'm going to end the relationship because I deserve to have all of these things. And otherwise the grass will be greener on the other side. And I'll find somebody that can give me all these things. Good luck. Good luck. It's not happening. Okay. So first of all, I apologize for not knowing who said this, but there was a man in our community recently. I always love to give credit when I share a teaching. And he said that expectations are premeditated resentments. That's a writer-downer. Expectations are premeditated resentments. What the hell does that mean? It means that when you have an expectation from someone and they don't meet that expectation, you're already setting yourself up to be resentful towards that person and to hold resentment. And this is something that kills and crushes and destroys a relationship. So let me go big picture with you guys so we can work our way back. Where I'm at in my life as a man at the ripe old age of 55, heading into 56 in April. I'm an Aries. I can say that I don't have any expectations from my wife or of my wife. In fact, I don't really have any needs because I have cut the cord of neediness. I no longer externally source my happiness and source my joy from something outside of me. Whether that's a car, whether that's a house, whether that's a woman, whether that's a child, whether it's a pet, whether it's income, whether it's a career, whether it's a job. Nothing outside of me can fill the void, can fill the gap. We all carry the energetic encoding of feeling at times like we're not good enough, we don't feel worthy enough, we don't feel deserving of love at times, and we all have found unique ways to try to fill that void. And these things are externally sourced. For some men, it might be pornography, it might be affairs, it might be strip clubs, it might be weed, it might be alcohol, it might be TV, it might be overworking, making more money. We all have ways to try to fill that void, things outside of us. And I'm here to tell you today, at 55 years old, nothing can fill that for you. It has to be you and your own love and you letting in God, whoever that is for you. You have to learn how to source this for yourself. You have to learn how to do enough work on yourself, get down on the battlefield, roll up your sleeves, get in the dirt, get muddy. That's why guys join our community, right? They want to do the work. Nobody's going to hand you the keys to the kingdom and just magically opens. You got to be willing to work for it. You got to have hunger. You got to have drive. You got to have motivation. Then you got to have support. You got to have challenge. You got to have accountability, because all those things will dry up, right? Hunger doesn't last. Motivation doesn't last. It's what's so powerful about the Man on Fire Brotherhood, is that when you'll drop standard on yourself, we will pick your ass up and we'll hold you accountable and hold you to the fire of what you want. But coming back to what I was sharing is that if you can get to a place, which is completely possible because I've pretty much arrived there, I live there, I come back and forth, but for the most part, I live in a space where I don't really need anything from my partner. I don't really need anything from anything outside of me to source myself, to feel love, to feel rapture, to feel awe, to feel grace. That's my responsibility as a man. However, if you talked to me 10 years ago, before Man on Fire evolved, I would tell you that my entire life existence was all about what other people thought of me, and all of my happiness and all of my joy came from things outside of me, especially a relationship. And that's where we carry that bag with us, right? From our parents and their parents, that bag of crap where we have this expectation. And what's the expectation? The real expectation that you have. It's not, oh, will there be dinner on the plate? That's not the expectation. The real expectation that you carry, that's invisible, is you expect your partner to bring you joy. You expect your partner to make you happy, as if it's their responsibility. And I have news for you, gentlemen. No, it's not. Your partner is not with you for you to feel joy. That is not her responsibility. Your responsibility is to fill your own cup. Your responsibility is to self-source your joy and love. And then what you get from her is icing on the cake. Your responsibility is to celebrate her. Celebrate her in her authentic nature. Love every part of her. The queen, the sensuality, the sexuality, the beauty, the rapture, the coldness, the harshness. Love all of it. No expectation. Welcome every one of her emotions, every one of her ways of being that normally would make a guy uncomfortable and say, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be talked this way. I don't deserve to be treated this way. I expect differently. I expect more respect. Expect. Where'd you learn that? Because I can assure you, because the divorce rate is so high, we have all been taught lies about what a relationship should be. A relationship is an opportunity for two people to come together and to be mirrors for one another, to illuminate blind spots, your shadow, the stuff that came from your childhood, all the hurts and the wounds and the traumas that you buried. It's all there to illuminate for you, to look at what needs to be looked at so you can grow and you can transform. Then the problem is we point fingers. No, the relationship is there to help you see these things, and through empathy, through compassion, through love for one another, through mutual respect, recognizing that you're both in this journey together to turn your hurts and your wounds and your traumas into extraordinary and phenomenal living. Help those be turned into rocket fuel for you to more powerfully bring your gifts to the world and bring more love and bring more of your heart to humanity. That's what your relationship's for. Your relationship is a portal to love and a portal to God. And you have all these expectations. I had all these expectations. I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying we had all these expectations. You're supposed to make me happy. Just like the sports car. You're supposed to make me happy. The money. You're supposed to make me happy. That's not a job of your partner. So you have already set it up where you can't win, because as soon as you're not happy, as soon as there's tension, as soon as there's discomfort, as soon as you don't like the way it feels, you're going to want to get rid of your partner. You're going to want to go on to the next partner. You're going to want to go on to somebody else to fill that void for you. Now I'm happy. Yep, I found somebody that's younger, 10 years younger. No wrinkles. She's perfect. She's always smiling. She's always happy. That's what I want. That's what I expect. Good luck. It's not going to work. Might for a year, maybe even 2 or 3. And then everywhere you go, there you are. And whatever you haven't looked at, whatever you haven't looked at that you swept under the carpet, it will surface, because that's what relationships do. They bring up the stuff that's invisible. So what would it be like if you had no expectations? What would your relationship be like if you just committed to loving your partner selflessly, no expectations, needing nothing in return? Now, of course, there's a whole nother conversation we can have around values and principles and ethics and morals. We could have a whole conversation around boundaries, right? That could all be intertwined into this, right? I'm not suggesting that you should be a punching board in your relationship. I'm not suggesting that you should support a relationship that is toxic to your soul. And for the guys that are listening to this, if you're in a relationship that you know in your heart is not right for you, by all means, end it with grace, end it with dignity, end it with self-respect, end it with love and compassion. Don't end it with finger pointing. Don't end it with venom. Don't end it with blame and name and shame and judge and projection. That won't work. You'll just repeat it in the next relationship. If you're in a relationship that you know doesn't honor your soul, not because of your expectations, but because you are committed to a life of growth, and you are very clear that that's not the path that your partner's on, and you recognize that you're not honoring your soul by being in this relationship, and the truth in your heart is it's not right for you, then honor your heart. But that shouldn't come from judgment from your partner or towards your partner. You can still love them and recognize they're not for you. But too many men end relationships. Too many men end relationships thinking that they're going to be happier without this person. Once I get to a new person, thinking that she's the problem. And then you realize everywhere you go, there you are, because you carried your bag of expectations with you. And expectations, as we shared earlier, as taught to us by one of the men in our community. I apologize for forgetting your name. This is one of the brothers in our inner chamber. That's where you join one of our coaching programs called Ignited. You come to one of our live 4-day Man on Fire immersions, where your life will never be the same after that. And then you join us for a year-long journey, a deep dive with other men, holding you to the fire, holding you, challenging you, supporting you, making sure that you live into your potential in the different domains of your life, especially your relationship. So what he shared was expectations are premeditated resentments. So you got to burn your list. You got to get rid of it. The question you really should be asking yourself is, how much more can I give? How much more can I love? How much more can I serve? How much more can I contribute to this relationship? Not as a pleaser, not as a yes man, not so you'll be liked, not so you'll be loved. It has to be clean. It has to be selfless. Right? When you're selfless, you just want to serve others. Right? You love serving your kids. You love serving your pets. You love serving your wife. You want to be of service, which comes from the heart. Service from the heart. Not the mind, so that you can get something in return. Not tit for tat. Well, David, what if I'm with somebody that I'm always giving, and she's always taking? Well, you answer that question. Why are you giving? In the way you're giving, is it to get? Because that will hurt, because that won't work. Are you giving so you'll be liked? Are you giving so she'll think you're a good person? Are you really giving because it's who you are? Because if you're giving selflessly, you don't need anything in return. Well, what if I'm with someone that's truly selfish and she has no intention of ever giving? She just takes. Well, then you have to re-examine your relationship and decide, is this the person that you truly want to grow old with? But what would happen if you let go of expectations? What would happen if you didn't rely on her to fill your cup? What would happen if you didn't rely on her, or him for that matter, to make you feel a certain way? What if you took full ownership and full responsibility for bringing those feelings to yourself. Your own deep dive cultivation, doing the hard work to grow yourself as a man, to strengthen your relationship with God. What if you took responsibility for that, and that gave you more love and rapture and awe, and now you don't need anything outside of you to get those feelings from? Now being in a relationship is clean. There's no neediness, there's no codependency. It's clean. How many men can honestly say that that's where they come from? Very few. Guys in my community that have joined one of our coaching programs can start to say that, because they're learning this. They're getting out of their heads. They're breaking into their body. They're being ripped open so that they could be in their heart. They could be more present, more empathy, more compassion, doing the dirty work, excavating, digging, being that archaeologist, getting into those old hurts and wounds that we stuff down and using it as leverage and fuel to powerfully open up your heart and give more to the world. And most of us are running from our crap that we buried. And then most of us carry that heavy bag of our own crap and our parents' crap. And then we have expectations in our relationships. And this goes with family, brothers, sisters, friends. I have expectations. I have expectations. Like, that shouldn't change who you are. If you're a giving, loving, serving being, be that way. Stop expecting stuff from other people. Otherwise, your giving's not clean. It's tit for tat. I'll give if you'll give. That's not clean. It's not like Mother Teresa. It's not like Jesus. It's not clean. You give because it's who you are. Like Gandhi, you be the change you want to see in the world. And so we have to work hard as men to ultimately get up to those highest two human needs that Tony Robbins talks about, Maslow talked about, growth and contribution. If you're growing and you're evolving your consciousness, you're up-leveling your frequency, your tone, you're going to be compelled to want to give, to want to love, to want to serve. That's what lights you up. You don't need shit from anyone. I don't need anything. I have no expectations. Does that mean that I want to be treated like crap? No. Does that mean that I don't have healthy boundaries? No. But I don't have expectations. I don't have expectations. And many of you do, whether you're aware of it or not. And the greatest expectation that you have if you're coming on late is you expect your partner to fill you up. You expect your partner to make you feel a certain way. That is not their responsibility, gentlemen. That is on you and you alone. Nobody can fill that void for you, that gap, that emptiness that so many men turn to the nicotine and the alcohol and the weed and women and porn and masturbation, overworking, accumulating more things, more homes, more cars, more jewelry, make more money. It's not going to work. It does not work. Millionaires take their life. Billionaires take their life. None of that works. You can't outrun your pain. And so what do we do at Man on Fire? We help you face all the stuff you buried. What do we do at Man on Fire? We help you strengthen your relationship back up to whoever God is for you. I mean, if you've lost your connection to a higher power and you don't know how to surrender into the feelings you keep running from, it's scary, because then you're in your head. You got nowhere else to go. You've lost the connection above. You've lost the connection below. Now where do you go? You're in your head. Some of us have heard the expression, you get in your head, you're dead, analysis paralysis. That's no place to live. That's where the pirates hang out. That's where the ego is. That's where the lies and the stories and the reasons and the excuses, the justifications, all the crap that you listen to that's destroying your life. That's where all your expectations come from. It's all fake. None of it's real. What do I do? What do I do, David? Well, I know one thing that works. Join Man on Fire. Yes, of course, there are other brilliant programs out there. I know a few other seminar leaders that I have immense respect for. And so, luckily, God didn't put all the responsibility on my shoulders to be the only person to usher men to living an extraordinary and phenomenal life and giving, loving, and serving humanity. My God, that would be too great of a responsibility for one man. Thank God there's probably hundreds of thousands of men that are committed like this. I'm just one, and I'm great at what I do. And I'm doing work on myself every day. And I'm living what I'm teaching. I'm walking my talk. There's too many people out there today that don't do that. Great information, but the carrier of the information is not matching the information. So for those of you looking for a coaching program, pick one where your mentor is living what they're teaching. Now, I can tell you I'm living it, but I'd rather have the men in my community tell you. They can tell you better. I don't want to sit here and boast and brag, but I can be honest and sincere and share that I'm human. I screw up. I pick myself up. And if I've hurt somebody, I clean it up. I'm certainly not perfect, and there's lots of room for my growth, but I'm proud of how far I've come. And I do know how to usher men. I do know how to support men, challenge men, hold men accountable to living an extraordinary and phenomenal life. We all deserve that. We all deserve to go out on our last breath, knowing we gave, we loved, and we served with every ounce of our being. We all deserve to know that our life mattered. We all deserve to feel freedom and fulfillment on our last breath, not one of regret. If you're after that, and you want to be a better man, a better father, and a better husband, you want to up-level yourself in different areas of your life, whether that's your relationship, your marriage, maybe it's your business, maybe it's your mission and your purpose. Maybe it's fostering a deeper relationship with God. Maybe it's having greater physical strength and vitality. Maybe it's your career path or finances. If you're ready to up-level yourself and you want to explore if one of our coaching programs may be the next best step for you, then apply to speak to one of our coaches. And when I say apply, is that not every man will be approved to actually have a phone call. There is a financial commitment. There is an energetic investment of your time and your energy. And for those of you that truly it would be reckless to make a financial investment in yourself at this time, simply keep following all of my free content that's on all the different social platforms. There's brilliant information there to get you started until you're in a better place where you can make a more responsible decision as it relates to your finances and how you invest it. But I will tell you that the greatest way you'll ever grow is by investing in yourself. Many of us are constantly spending money on things outside of ourselves, thinking it will fill us. The thing that will fill you is invest in you. Grow yourself enough where you have more to give of yourself to the world. That's the most valuable commodity. Yourself. Have the courage to give the real you to humanity. All right, guys. It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer. Here is to you, rising with passion, with power, and with purpose. I love each and every one of you. God bless.